aware of their status.
So the team this year is actually know your risk, know your response. So in order to know how to respond, you have to know your risk. And the only way you are going to actually know your risk is by testing. So we do the HbA1c test, which is the gold standard measurement for diabetes. But before you do that test, you would notice some simple signs and symptoms.
Ms. Samuel also admonishes patients against an over-reliance on home treatments to aid with diabetes. She says changing one's lifestyle is the best remedy.
So there are certain things that works for certain persons and some that don't. But in terms of natural remedies, let's say I know a lot of persons would drink like green tea or they would drink turmeric and all of those things. Yes, those things research is showing that it's beneficial to a certain extent, but there's not sufficient to prove that these things actually work. So I would recommend try the best way to move forward in terms of diabetes is to change your lifestyle, which is just the diet, medication, and exercise.
Ms. Samuel was a guest on the Now Morning Show on World Diabetes Day. President of the 78th session of the United Nations General Assembly, Dennis Francis, is calling for full cooperation with the International Atomic Energy Agency and adherence to the Treaty on the Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons. Mr. Francis spoke on Monday at the fourth session of the conference on the establishment of a Middle East zone free of nuclear weapons and other weapons of mass destruction. He said that there can be no lasting peace without also comprehensively addressing the issue of nuclear weapons and commented on the current situation in the Middle East.
With each day, we witness terrifying scenes of the widespread loss of civilians, countless innocent lives of women and children lost. We mourn each of them. The ongoing hostilities are amplified by worries about escalation of nuclear programs.
Mr. Francis urged all parties to declare support for a nuclear-free zone and avoid any action that obstructs the goal of complete and total nuclear disarmament. He said, "We owe it to the generations who will follow to embark today on a path of sustainable peace in the Middle East."
Imagine the Middle East joining the 5 other regions that have banned the testing, stationing, development, and use of nuclear weapons inside their territories, bringing us one giant step closer to a truly global zone of peace from Latin America and the Caribbean to the South Pacific, Southeast Asia, Africa, and Central Asia.
Point Fortin municipal police officers seized $3.5 million worth of marijuana and a firearm and ammunition during mobile patrols on Sunday and early on Monday morning. A release from the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, or TTPS, states that 7 suspects were arrested in connection with the seizures. According to the TTPS, officers, while on mobile patrol along the southern main road Guapo, observed a blue Toyota Fielder wagon dangerously overtaking traffic and driving at a high speed. The officers pursued the vehicle and intercepted it a short distance away. When the officers searched the vehicle in the presence of both occupants, they found 6 crocus bags containing a total of 270 blocks of marijuana, which was later weighed and amounted to 147.5 kilograms. A 40-year-old taxi driver and a 41-year-old farmer were arrested for possession of marijuana for the purpose of trafficking. To the weather now for the period of this afternoon. Trinidad and Tobago will experience partly cloudy and breezy conditions at times with isolated showers and the low chance of the isolated daytime thunderstorm. Gusty winds and street or flash flooding can occur near heavy showers or thunderstorms. The forecast maximum temperature stands at 32 degrees Celsius. This is TTT News at noon. Follow us for these stories and more on Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube at TTT Live Online. Although the world celebrates World Kindness Day for a week, Trinidad and Tobago will have 2 full months to do so. This according to the Chair of Kids in Need of Direction, or KIND. Karina Jardine Scott says the extension would give students time to submit their random acts of kindness to the organization.
Yes, we're starting November 13th and we're taking it all the way through to January 13th. We must go through Christmas with doing some acts of random kindness. I mean, it's our nature.
Right.
And yeah, so we're taking it a full 2 months into January because we also have the school competition for primary and secondary school students. And you know, they normally have exams the beginning of December, so when they close, they still have time to be able to submit to us art pieces on what kindness means to them.
Ms. Scott notes that there is also an essay competition where primary school students can get their essays published and a TikTok competition for secondary school students. More news after the break. Stay with us.
This Christmas, we want to give more than ever before. So join us at 118 Maryville Road for The Gathering.
It's coming Sunday, December 10th, The Gathering.
Get ready for a jolly good time.
Check out Sweet 100 on Facebook and Instagram for more details. The Gathering.
Sweet Christmas is we.
Christmas is we.
We welcome you back with sporting news, where the TNT Marathon Committee has made the hard decision to postpone the 42nd edition of the Trinidad and Tobago International Marathon and related events to the weekend of Sunday, March 24, 2024. This date allows additional time to conclude all partnership arrangements, as well as fully put into place the many details that an event of such magnitude requires. Historically, the race has been held several times in the months of March and April for the first 3 races held. With the plan to use the new course, once again, collaboration with the Ministry of Works and the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service is of great importance for the safety of participants. Several years ago, the 3:30 a.m. start began to allow physically challenged runner Dwight Yearwood the opportunity to complete the course at a reasonable time frame. Chair Diane Henderson said in recent times, the purpose of this start time has changed, and therefore we have decided to discontinue this and go with one start time to allow for improved logistics for the event. On Sunday, Cricket West Indies announced the West Indies Men's Academy squad for the upcoming home series against Ireland Academy starting next week.
The academy teams of the West Indies and Ireland will play 3 50-over List A matches and 2 4-day first-class matches from the 17th of November to the 5th of December. These matches will be played at the Coolidge Cricket Ground and the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium in Antigua. The West Indies squad will be led by all-rounder Naeem Young and is made up mainly of the players in the West Indies Academy program who have just played in the CG United Super 50 Cup, as well as the Headley Weeks Tri-Series earlier this year. The Cricket West Indies selection panel has included 4 new players. 2 of these are teenagers, Jordan Johnson, a left-handed middle-order batter, and fast bowler Isai Thorne. The others are Junior Sinclair, a right-handed spin bowling all-rounder, and Kadeem Allen, a batting all-rounder. Johnson was the standout player in the West Indies Rising Stars Men Under-19 tour of Sri Lanka in September when he made 3 centuries. Sinclair was impressive in the Caribbean Premier League and was a member of the Guyana Amazon Warriors, which won their first CPL title on home soil in September. Allen, who will play the white ball series, was impressive batting at the top of the order for the combined campuses and colleges in the CG United Super 50 Cup. Thorne, who will play the red ball fixtures, bowled with pace and penetration on the Rising Stars Under-19 tour of Sri Lanka. Wayne Cunningham, TTT Sport.
And that's TTT News at noon. I'm DK Roster. Have a good day.
Be watching Let's Talk Tobago on TTT, Sundays 9:30 a.m. and rebroadcast Tuesdays 8 p.m.